Lionel Messi scored 3 goals against Algeria. One man, one half of football's biggest stage. And honestly, Algeria did almost everything to help him. Welcome back to World Goals. Today we're unpacking how this 3-0 result was more damaging than the scoreline suggests, the tactical hole Algeria walked into, and what it actually means for the rest of the group. Let's be honest about something. Every team at this World Cup knew Messi was coming. Every coach, every analyst, every defender in that Algeria squad had weeks, months to prepare for the one thing that was always going to define this match. And yet, from the first whistle, Algeria looked like a team that had no credible answer. That's not a criticism thrown lightly. That is the story of this game. The structure Algeria set up gave Messi exactly the spaces he craves. Pockets just outside the press, room to receive and turn, angles to thread passes, or drive at defenders one-on-one. Whether that was a brave gamble or a catastrophic miscalculation, we can debate. But the result made the verdict brutal and clear. 3 goals, 3 moments where Algeria's shape collapsed and one man exploited it with ruthless precision. The first goal set the tone, not just because it went in, but because of the ease with which Messi found the position to score it. When the greatest player alive makes it look that simple, that's not genius in isolation. That's a team failing its defensive assignment at the worst possible moment. And here's the question nobody is asking loudly enough. Did Algeria ever have a real plan? Or did they just hope Messi would have an off day? Because he didn't. 3 goals from Messi in a single World Cup group game. Let that settle for a second. At this stage of his career, at this tournament, in a game where the pressure on Argentina to deliver was enormous, he delivered, and then some. But here's what everyone is missing in the celebration of the hat trick. Each goal told a slightly different story about Algeria's defending, and together they painted a picture of a team that was mentally and tactically broken from early on. The first exposed Algeria's defensive line. The second showed a team that had stopped believing they could stop him. And by the third, it wasn't even a contest. It was a rout, and Algeria's body language said everything. Now this matters beyond just one match. In group stage football, goal difference isn't decoration. It's a lifeline or a coffin. A 3-0 defeat doesn't just cost you 3 points. It can cost you progression on the final match day when a single goal separates 2 teams. Algeria now have a mountain to climb. They need to win, and they probably need to win convincingly just to put themselves back in the conversation. And the question hanging over this squad isn't whether they can do it. It's whether they actually have the belief left to try. Because the way this game ended didn't look like a team regrouping. It looked like a team already on the plane home. Here's the bold take, and I'm willing to defend it. This result wasn't just a bad day for Algeria. It was a symptom of the wider challenge facing African nations at the World Cup. Teams arrive with genuine talent, real quality, enormous heart, and then they face the structural gap, the tactical sophistication, the fitness management, the collective game planning, and sometimes that gap is brutal and instant. Algeria are not a bad side, but they looked, on this day, like a side that hadn't solved the problem that mattered most. Meanwhile, Argentina looked dangerous, not just because of Messi, because around him, the squad moved with the kind of confidence that only comes from a team that believes they can win the whole thing again. Messi getting a hat trick in the group stage isn't just a warm-up story. It's a warning to every other team in this competition. He is still here, still lethal, and still capable of deciding a match by himself on the biggest stage alive. For Algeria, the task is now simple and brutal. Win the next game or go home. For Argentina, the task is keeping this momentum and making sure complacency never creeps in. Because at a World Cup, the scoreline you post in week 1 can define your entire journey. This one defined both teams, just in very different ways. So here's the question for you. Can Algeria recover from this, or is their World Cup already over? Drop your take in the comments, share this with a fan who needs to see it, and subscribe to World Goals for every big story from the 2026 World Cup.